I know a lot of people out traveling with their families. We thank you folks for being on the call today, but I'm excited. I texted Mr. Dean Tarrolly. I said, my God, I'm kind of giddy about being the last Thursday of the month. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, can we give a warm welcome to none other than Regional Vice President, Circle of Champions, the great Mr. Dean Tarrolly. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, whatever it is that you celebrate. Hope it was great. And Mr. T, appreciate you and the message that you sent me on Christmas. I really appreciate that. So it's funny. So here's something I can tell you guys. Not necessarily a training note, but I guess in a way it sort of is a training note. And that is, you can't teach class. It's really hard. People either operate with class or they don't. Doesn't mean they're perfect. Doesn't mean they're infallible. But you know, class is boy, is that an asset. It just doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. But you can tell when you deal with someone who is classy and they operate that way and they consistently operate that way. And I feel that way about Mr. Thomas. So I really appreciate that message, man. That was really nice. And I know I texted you back, but in front of everybody, I'll just say, feelings mutual, and thank you, sir. Really cool. So you guys also know how I feel about you guys being on this call consistently. I think consistency is probably one of the, if not the main ingredient to building this business, building it well, doing it well. And I applaud Mr. T for being so consistent with this. 5 days a week, every single week, whether you're on his team or not, you have an outlet where you can be trained, taught, coached, inspired, have your beliefs, hopefully have your goals stretched, your beliefs built. And you guys know my thing is he can give you that environment, but it doesn't mean you're going to do anything with it. It does not. Like if you don't do anything with it, you are an attendee, and that's great, right? And you guys have heard me say this kind of stuff in the past. That doesn't bother me. If you're an attendee, I think if you're attending these and not putting it into action, I think that it's great. You're getting something out of it. You're here, like being poured into. But the magic happens when you take what we're doing, what we're training, what you're being trained by all these other leaders, and apply it. Fall down, get up. Get a punch gut, get up. Somebody trips you, get up. Somebody flakes on you, get up. Right. And that's really the magic in this business, because it really is a numbers game. So I have a few things to go over with you guys. And I'm not going to get all mushy here at the end of the year, but it might happen a little bit. So just whatever, deal with it. Right. I remember Greg Provenzano saying at one of the events, he goes, it's funny as you get older, right? The days are long, but the years are short. And that really struck a chord with me, because it's true. I mean, we're at the beginning of the day today. Some of you are on the East Coast, so it's noon out here. It's 9 a.m. And, it's a long day ahead of us. But isn't it funny? I blinked, and weren't we doing this last year at the holidays? So it leads into what I want to go over with you guys. So are you guys ready? Sure. Okay, cool. I know Mr. T is. I got 2 thumbs up from him. I got David giving me a hands up. Okay, cool. So here we go. When you guys signed up in ACN, right? When Al signed up in network marketing and then came to ACN, I want you to think about this. What's the real dream here? What's the dream? Right? And I'm going to give you some thoughts, but I just want you to think about this. What is the dream here? Okay. We know what the results can be. No job, not having to answer to anybody, hopefully some time freedom, financial freedom, right? But what is the dream here? And I think that the dream is having a building, growing, income producing business. I think that's the dream. So you may want to write that down. I think that the dream is having a building, growing, income producing business. I think that's the dream. So your business could produce income, but is it growing? You know, you could be building, but is it producing income? So I think the dream is having a building, growing, income producing business. So how does that happen? Well, nobody's ever signed up in ACN to have a job. That's not why anybody signs up here. In fact, I might go as far as saying we sign up here to have the exact opposite, right? The constraints taken off, the limitations removed. So how do you get that dream of having a building, growing, income producing business? Well, you have to develop leaders that can accomplish results. Now that goes to a really important point. The old question is the chicken and the egg. Are leaders found or are they made, developed? And I think leaders are found, but leadership in ACN is developed. So you can find a leader in another industry, another business, and if you put them in the right environment around the right people and you teach them the system, you can develop their leadership within ACN. So do you guys agree these are like dreams? This is what we want, right? This is what we want. We want an independent, building, growing, income producing business. And the only way for you to have that happen is to develop leaders that can accomplish results. So what's the freaking issue at the end of the year here? What's the issue? Why do we not have the type of businesses that are building, growing, and producing income the way that we want? Why is that the case? Because we need to develop leaders that can accomplish results. Why is it not happening to the degree that you and I would want? Why? Here's the key. And some of you will get this, and some of you will brush it off, and some of you will accept it, and some of you won't. Some of you will justify why this can't happen, and some of you will take responsibility as to why it needs to happen. We want a building, growing, income-producing business. We have to develop leaders that can accomplish what? Results. Why does it not happen to the degree that we want? And what is the main key to this? Here goes. Listen up. Thank you for all of you who have your cameras on. So here goes. The key is you have to do it first. You have to do it first. You don't go looking to have a building, growing, income producing business if you're not building, growing, and producing income. Don't look for leaders to go out and accomplish these results if you're not accomplishing these results. You have to set the standard. You have to set the pace. You have to be the freaking example of getting to 20 customer points, 30 customer points, 40 customer points, of packing your schedule out regardless of what's going on with your schedule, your life, your work, your business, your family, your wife, your husband, your kids. Are you able to be consistent in and around all of those things? So I get the dream to have a building, growing, income producing business that can create a quality of life where you have you have control. In order to do that, you have to develop leaders that can accomplish the results. And the key to you doing that and developing leaders that can accomplish the results is you doing it. It's you breaking through a point threshold. It's you breaking through a position threshold. It's you breaking through a production threshold. I can't imagine doing 10 reps in a month. That's the freaking problem. You can't even imagine it. We've done 10 reps in a day. We've done 10 reps at a PBR. And what happens is once you break through a threshold, you realize, oh my God, this is so achievable. I can do this. We can scale this. But you have to do it first. You have to do it first. Like, you guys, wishing and hoping is a terrible business strategy. It's an important thing to have. Look, without hope, I mean, shoot. You have to have hope because hope ties to vision, right? Like if you have hope, then hope, hope and vision, those are tied together. You have a vision of where you're going. Now, look, if you don't have a vision of where you're going to be, and I'm going to end with this stuff in a few minutes. If you don't have a vision of where you're going to be in 2024, I'm not even exactly sure why you're on the call. But I don't mean that. I'm not being insulting, you guys. I love this call. I love everyone that plugs in. I always want to kind of give you guys the best that I have. But let's get down to brass tacks. Like if you don't have a bigger vision than where you are right now, why spend the time? Why spend the time now doing this? Hey, good morning. How are you? Thank you. Likewise. If you don't have a bigger vision for where you are going to go, why be on the call? Do you jump on the call because it feels like this is you doing ACN? I have to tell you guys, as I've said many times in the past, and I know Mr. Thomas will back me up on this call is not doing ACN. It is not. This is not doing ACN. This is preparing you. This is fueling you. This is giving you guidance and direction. This is giving you some instruction, hopefully some tips, some things, some advice, some skills, some language that will help you advance what it is that you do in ACN, which is getting customers and building a team and getting people to the events. Those are the only three things that will pay you. So do not get it confused. If you have a spouse that's going, oh, how come you're not making any money yet? I haven't seen a check. Or if you have that family member or those friends that kind of needle you, hey man, how's that business going? You've been doing it for 12 years. You ever get promoted? You ever make any money in that thing? You guys, how long do you want to hear those conversations? Because that's not the fault of your spouse, and it's not the fault of your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your circle of friends. It's not. It's not on them. It's on you. It is on you. So what are you gonna freaking do about it? It's the end of the year. Let me think about this. So I've done December, didn't do November, did October, didn't do September, did August. I guarantee you in August I had this conversation. We could go back and look. I guarantee you at one point during the month of August when I did these calls, here's what I said. At one point or another, I said something to the effect of, these few months are going to go by fast. Because what happens is that we're going to get into school. People are going to knock the cobwebs off of summer vacation. Kids are going to be back in school. Next thing you know, you're going to be shopping for freaking Halloween candy and putting skeletons in the front yard. And then after that, you're going to be getting the turkey. Then it's going to be Christmas list. And next thing you know, it's going to be New Year's. Well, here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Where are you? That's the question. Here we are. Where are you? Right? There's all kinds of things that have been happening in ACN. There's all this activity going in and around Texas right now, Lubbock, with the launch of electricity and Zoom Energy entering into that market. There's all the great stories from Impact Health Sharing. There's events going on around the country, and there's a big move to get people back in front of people in the same room, face to face, shaking hands, high five and hugging and all that stuff. What are you doing? Are you participating in any of those things? Are you networking in any of those things? Are you getting people on three-way calls with your leaders? Are you doing any of those things? If you're talking, I can't get anybody on a three-way call, well, maybe you need to look at your language. Maybe it's not the person, maybe it's what you're saying. Have a little self-reflection, self-responsibility. You guys have heard me talk about this. I'm a big sports guy. In the past, I've talked about self-scouting. You got to scout what you're doing. If what you're doing is not working, just make an adjustment, change it up a little bit. But I do want to tell you this: if what you're doing is not getting you where you want and advancing your business the way that you want, and getting you closer to having that dream of a building, growing, income producing business where you are developing leaders that can accomplish results without you, how great would that be? Where you have rep alerts hitting your phone. A new person joined, a new person qualified, a person got promoted, a person got qualified. Like, how great would that? Do you guys, can I share something with you guys? Like, that happens for leaders in ACN. That happens for leaders in ACN, where they're getting alerts about things happening in their business is building. Is that happening for you? This is a black and white, come to Jesus, call your shot conversation to end the year. Because if those things are not happening, you got to make some adjustments. You got to change your actions in order to get those things. If that's what you want. If you guys have said it a million times, if you have what you want out of ACN, Al and I will be the first to congratulate you. We will. I guarantee you. I wanted to be an ETL. I've got 9 other jobs. I wanted to see if I could hit ETL. I did. I made a little bonus. Congratulations. You did it. You set out and did what your goal was. You accomplished that. Freaking fantastic. But I know for probably 98% of you on this call, you're nowhere near where you didn't sign up to be ETL. You didn't sign up to be regional coordinator. You didn't sign up to be regional director. Those are all great. You signed up to go RVP, SVP, and SVP Platinum. Are you doing the things to advance your business and grow in a way that's going to get you to that result? So it's interesting, right? If you look at the comp plan, like, you can get paid in ACN the first 2 ways, make some good side hustle, bill paying money without ever building a team. And you can, because you can get the bonuses as you acquire customers, and you can earn the residual from those bills being paid every month. I don't think that's why people sign up in ACN. I don't. I think the logic of it gets them to sign up in ACN, but the excitement is in building a team, is having leverage, is having McDonald's all over the world. It's having Starbucks all over the world. It's having, Lowe's or Home Depots all over the world. It's about having reps with online stores who know how to build teams all over the world, right? So I have a video for you guys, and it's so funny. I went through all of my notes, and I swear I may have shown you this video before, but I can't confirm that, because I'm really good about making notes about which videos I show you guys. But this one's really good. So if you're seeing it for the second time, lucky for you. That's the way I look at it, because I was going through this archive of stuff that I keep for Al Thomas's call. You guys, believe it or not, right? Believe it or not, when you guys jump on here and I'm asked to do this every other month or whatever, like, I treat that seriously. Like, I want you guys to leave with something more than what you came in with, right? Now, whether you do anything with it, that's entirely up to you. But it's not going to be because I'm shortchanging you guys, right? Now, I may say something that may not resonate with you, but it'll resonate with someone, I believe, right? So I want you to think about what I said, okay? And I'm going to show you this. I want you to think about this right out of my notes. What is the dream here of having a building, growing, income-producing business, developing leaders that can accomplish results? But the key to it is you have to do it first.
Can your business function without you?
No.
Yeah. It's the first thing I ask entrepreneurs, and most of them will tell me no. I said, okay. And then some of them will tell me, yeah, probably. I said, okay. Second question, can your business grow without you? And then most of them will then say no. And so the idea is, how do you create a business that is able to function first and then grow without you being in there? Because if you haven't done that, you really just bought yourself a job. And so the whole idea about creating a business that has enterprise value is it becomes your largest asset when you do it correct.
To this.
Why does Al Thomas have a senior vice president position, growing, thriving business that produces? Why? He can't do it all. One person is not capable of doing what is required to build, maintain, sustain, and advance an SVP's business. You have to pour into people. You have to pour into leaders on your team, teach them how to become independent producers so they can run that part of their leg without you. Now, are you still going to be there to help and support and to all those things? Absolutely. This is not, oh, I developed an RD. He's going to do this. I don't need to do anything. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You still have to be in there helping them, but now you don't have to do everything. And that is the dream of a business like ours, which is to be able to develop leaders that can do what you do. So now that frees you up to start new legs of business. And then guess what? At one point, you want to take a month off and you have 6 legs producing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 reps a month. Guess what? Take the month off. Now take a phone call, do a Zoom, but whatever. Because you put the time in to develop. So I'm going to play this for you guys a couple of times. I really want and hope for you to internalize what this person is saying as you're going into the end of the year. So you don't let another year go by. Now look, without advancing your business to the degree that you want. So here we go.
Can your business function without you? No. Yeah. It's the first thing I ask entrepreneurs, and most of them will tell me no. I said, okay. And then some of them will tell me, yeah, probably. I said, okay. Second question, can your business grow without you? And then most of them will then say no. And so the idea is, how do you create a business that is able to function first and then grow without you being in there? Because if you haven't done that, you really just bought yourself a job. And so the whole idea about creating a business that has enterprise value is it becomes your largest asset when you do it correctly.
It becomes your largest asset when you do it what? Correctly. It becomes your largest asset when you do this correctly. Right? So think about what he's saying in the beginning, right? Can your business run without you? No, it can't. Problem. Can your business grow without you? No, it can't. Problem. Now, I didn't say impossible. I didn't say unachievable. I didn't say unfixable. I just said it's a problem. And you know what creates the level of pay in most businesses and certainly in ACN? It's your ability to deal with problems, work through them, and move on. Leaders are problem solvers. So problem number one, if your business can't build without you, problem, we got to solve it. Number two, if your business can't grow without you, problem, we got to solve it. Now listen to this.
Can your business function without you? No. Yeah. It's the first thing I ask entrepreneurs, and most of them will tell me no. I said, okay. And then some of them will tell me, yeah, probably. I said, okay. Second question, can your business grow without you? And then most of them will then say no. And so the idea is, how do you create a business that is able to function first and then grow without you being in there? Because if you haven't done that, you really just bought yourself a job. And so the whole idea about creating a business that has enterprise value is it becomes your largest asset when you do it correctly.
We signed up in ACN to have an income generating business building asset. Now, for those of you that, are business people, business managers, business owners, business consultants, business whatevers, this is the conversation. This is the conversation. The idea here is to find, work with, help, teach, mentor, coach, develop independent people who are capable of accomplishing 3 things: getting customers, building teams, and promoting the events. We only have to teach them how to effectively do 3 things. So last thing I just want to leave you guys with is this. Look, when Mr. Thomas asked me to start doing these calls, whatever years ago, the idea was to try to advance people's businesses. And we had that conversation. And after doing this for a long time with you guys and covering a lot of territory, we've covered a lot of freaking ground, man. Like we really have. Pages and pages, books of notes that I have on what I'm going to go over with you guys. I hope that you all recognize where you are and how much you have accomplished. Because there are a lot of you on here that have gotten customers, that are building teams. You've been promoted from ETL to regional coordinator. It is freaking fantastic. There are people on here that I know are going to go from regional coordinator to regional director. We've had people, I've had a chance to meet, the Josh Casey's and other people that plug into this call. Brian Baker's an old friend of mine that I've seen, and I've seen these guys, their businesses grow, and I've seen that, and it's been awesome. So I want to recognize all of you for being on here. And oh, how funny. I mentioned Baker's name. That's really funny. I got to say this right now. I just mentioned Brian Baker's name and he's on the call now. That's awesome. I love that guy. Anyway, so I've seen people grow in this environment. And I'm not trying to like leave anybody out. I just happened to mention, I saw Josh Casey on here earlier. And I mean, we've trained with him, Brian, who I've known for years, and many of you. And we've seen you get promoted, right? We've seen you get results that I'm talking about. So I want to recognize all of you for what you've accomplished this year. The second half of this is I'm asking you, for you, not for me, for you, set a goal of where you want to be by this call in 2024. Set a goal of where you want to be. A goal that's not set is not met, right? You got to set that goal. Position, customers, billing, those things, right? How many regional directors am I going to have by this time next year? Come on, 3 teams that have 200 points per team. Come on. 8-point services. You guys don't turn this into a talent thing, because it's not. It's an effort thing. So I want to recognize where you guys are, the time that we've had a chance to spend together in 2024. And I tip my hat to you guys for sure, because you have to have a vision to be consistent, to be on these calls. And many of you are on these calls daily. Well, while you recognize and kind of, take a lot of pride in where you are and how far you've come. Now the goal is, what's the goal for 2024? Right? What position are you going to be at and when? How many people are you going to help get promoted to and when? And that's got to be it. So, Mr. Thomas, I appreciate the opportunity. I hope everybody, like I said, I hope you guys all had a very Merry Christmas, a happy holiday. I'm wishing you a very happy, safe, healthy, slightly tipsy, if you do that kind of thing, New Year. No driving, if that's you. If it's not you, then just please be safe. And looking forward to seeing what happens for everybody in 2024. There's a lot of great stuff happening with the company. I would encourage you not to get left behind. Maximize the comp plan, get to the highest position you can get. So, but I appreciate it. And Mr. Thomas, thank you for this opportunity again, and I will turn it over to you. Signing off.